that person there, that person cannot dance, therefore I do not like that person. Interactive, which is directly interacting with someone, and processes of self-disclosure. So, hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Oklahoma. Where are you from? Oh, I'm from wherever. So that's sort of the interactive. And then extractive, which is basically this new area of using search engines as strategies. And Sanders says that interactive strategies tend to be the most effective on Facebook. And so you actually, even though there's a lot of information there already, oftentimes you will self-disclose something about yourself, and somebody else will self-disclose something about themselves. So there's sort of direct interaction. You can also live chat and everything like that. But a lot of people do use search engines if you want to find out more about people. It's really interesting, and we'll get into, I think, at some point, online dating and everything like that, which can be really, really problematic. About that's when they really, with impression formation, they really upplay the good stuff, downplay the bad stuff. One of the things with interactive strategies and just sort of this information seeking that I tend not to like is all that target marketing. When you like something, automatically you're going to get little advertisements to buy something. It's just crazy. I Googled, for instance, a while back. I was looking for a particular chair that I wanted to buy. Was sort of this mid-century modern chair, and so now Google remembers that or something. So when I'm on Facebook, these ads pop up for funky chairs that I can buy. And I'll let you read the rest of that part, but basically, and I'm on, by the way, slide 14 here. The big point here is that in our current sort of postmodern CMC SNS context, through the computer, through social networking sites is a primary way that people find out information about other people. So it's a very important function. The last function here, and I'm on slide 15 now, function number 7, meta communication. Meta is beta, as one of my colleagues used to say. Meta communication is just communication about communication. So that's when you start talking about communication. Why did you yell at me, or something like that. Also, meta communication can be sort of just nonverbal communication that might reinforce, contradict, or distract from the surface level or the verbal communication. So it's anything that sort of enhances or distracts or whatever from a message, but also communicating about communicating. They argue that liking is a form of meta communication. So if you like something, if you like somebody's posts, you are liking how they communicate or something like that. So that's pretty interesting. And on page 13 there was really some interesting stuff about romantic partners. And I hope if you are in a romantic relationship that you are meta communicating. That is very, very important. On page 13 they say, where is it? In the middle there, the third paragraph under meta communication, romantic partners who engage in more meta communication report higher relational satisfaction than partners who engage in less communication, less meta communication. So the more meta communication, the better for romantic relationships. That's what the research says. And so one of the ways that you do this is showing what your relationship status is on Facebook. That can be seen as meta communication. I love my dog. My wife wanted to keep all her stuff separate, and so she actually didn't want me to even put her as I'm in a relationship with her. So on my Facebook, my funny Facebook, not my college Facebook, I don't offer that type of personal information on my college Facebook, but on mine, I'm in a relationship with my dog. But that's seen as meta communication, and that's an important sort of comment on the relationship, I suppose. And change of relationships are now on Facebook like a public ritual. Friends of mine got married the other day, and it really didn't become real until they changed their relationship status on Facebook and had all these various pictures and these big things that so-and-so married so-and-so, and then you see somebody broke up with so-and-so, blah, 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 blah. So it's really just a new way of announcing what your relationship is all about. And there's so much stuff in there that's used sort of problematically. Like they talk about how, if you're in a romantic relationship, you can post certain pictures to make your romantic partner jealous, or you can enact revenge. It's just crazy stuff. But but this is again another way that we use things like Facebook, these larger social networking sites. So conclusions. Oh, and by the way, again, be thinking about, as you're reading through this, how you do this, how, examples from your own life. So conclusions, a review. So chapter 1, functional approach. These are the ways that we use things called social networking sites. Their focus here is on Facebook, but how we use it within sort of the context of interpersonal communication. Relationship initiation. So have you ever created a new relationship through this process? Relational maintenance, relational reconnection, identity experimentation, impression formation and management, information seeking, and then finally meta communication. So these are the 7 ways the scholars say, who have done this research and compiled this research, these are the ways that we use things like Facebook within our relationships. The final slide here, what I think is really the big point of all of this stuff, and I will emphasize it throughout the entire class, and that is on the bottom of page 15. It is the bingo, and that is that, where am I? As SNSs, social networking sites, and other mediated forms of communication increase in popularity, the line between the offline and online world will become difficult to distinguish. And then talks about how all this stuff is intertwined. And that is a very important point, I think, and it goes back to this larger idea of living in a mediated postmodern culture. And this is my big argument as a scholar of communication studies, and with somebody who's been teaching college since 1993 with a PhD. This is my big argument. I don't think, and it goes back to the demolishing either ors as well, I don't think we can think in terms of face-to-face, that's what, again, FTF stands for, and CMC in any sort of binary way anymore. It's too complicated. Offline and online are blended and impact one another. We are engaged in this constant sort of mixed mode of communicating. We are all virtual and corporeal, all at the same time. And that's really important, and it's really interesting to see how things that are sort of unique to CMC have sort of infiltrated our face-to-face. I mean, the language that we use is changing. I mean, folks literally say OMG, LOL in regular conversation. So these areas have merged, and I think it's really going to create, and it is creating, will continue to create a really interesting dynamic about the nature of humanity. So hopefully, I mean, this is sort of a basic chapter, and there's lots of little nuggets in there. But hopefully this helps you to see, at least from this particular perspective and the research that has been done in communication studies within this larger idea of interpersonal communication, these are the functions of things like Facebook when it comes to personal relationships. Hopefully this has been helpful whenever you watch it, or if you watch it, and hopefully you found the chapter interesting. Again, what I'm asking you to do with the tweets, and by the way, please, again, one of your major jobs this week is to get a Twitter account if you don't already have one, get a Tumblr account if you don't already have one, and then of course email me. You all have email accounts, I know that. But let me know if you have problems. But again, I'm asking you to sort of reflect on stuff. And so with the tweets, try to capture in the 140 characters what's the most important insight that you learned. Maybe like through this, you think, wow, that's how I use Facebook. I didn't really realize it, but this is one of the main reasons why I use Facebook. And same thing with Tumblr, except Tumblr I'm asking you to have more paragraphs. But again, it's just sort of applying things to your own life and trying to take this theory stuff and help it explain how you use computer-mediated communication. And again, I'll have up at some point by the end of the day today some sort of grading rubric for the emails that you need to send me every week. And again, as I said last time, the tweets and the blogs, Tumblr blogs, really, there's not going to be really a grading system there. It's just you do it or you don't. So long as you do it, you're cool. So take care, have a great day, and I will see you, I guess, next time. The next chapter that I'll have record a lecture for is for the next chapter 2. Even though we're skipping around a lot, we are moving straight to chapter 2, and that will be the only other chapter that we'll cover this week, since I spent part of the first day or all of the first day with the syllabus. So take care, enjoy the rest of your day.